How is it going, guys, and welcome to week 9 of the Pokemon Premier League, and this week we are playing against Bayern Mewnich and Schady. Now, as AS Monferno, we are coming off the back of an incredible 1-0 victory against Newcastle United last week and Fufu, and we need to keep our streak going because that put us at 10th in the table, and we don't want to be 10th anymore. We don't want to be 10th. We want to keep going higher. We want to make sure that we get ourselves out of this relegation fight and manage to keep ourselves in Division 1 for next season to have a crack at the title. So, yeah, every time I've played Schady, it's been one hell of a game. So, I'm always very scared against him because he always knows exactly what to bring. He always knows how to break opponents down, and to be honest, he's one of the ones I honestly think has a massive shot at trying to win this league. But we do well against Titans. We do well against the top teams, as it seems. We should have beat Trav. We should have beat Jack. We did beat Sam. And yeah, so let's see if we can keep our form going and manage to take on Schady. Now, the team I've brought, I'm not going to go over it too much. If you want to know thoughts and stuff behind it, go down in the description, but I'll give you a general overview of the team. I have Mega Sableye, physically defensive. I have Scarf Zapdos. I have Storly, Eviolite, Spritzy. I have physically defensive Regirock. I have Scarf Victini. And I have Swords Dance, Cross Chop, Gunk Shark, Sucker Punch, Toxicroak, who is the new member of AS Monferno. Toxicroak has been transferred in, and let's see if Toxicroak can do anything decent. We've unfortunately dropped Hitmonchan and Umbreon to pick up Toxicroak, but let's see if Toxicroak can do things and stuff. Schady, on the other hand, has brought all of the stuff I was worried about. So, Manaphy, Klefki, Thundurus, Porygon, Drodigon, and Megalop, which is basically just standard.jpg. So, let's get into this match and see how we did up against one of the best teams in the league. Stella is issuing a challenge. Right, now he leads off with his Mega Lopunny, as I think I led off with my Mega Sableye, just to simply try and, I wanted to get my Mega up as soon as possible to stop Klefki doing anything. Now, I have Fake Out on this Mega Sableye, and he Mega Evolves, and I'm thinking I can Fake Out this thing just in case he wants to go for like a return, thinking me to switch out, and I Mega Evolve up. And he then reveals to me here that he does indeed have the Fake Out, which would stop me from doing anything at all on this turn. And cleverly, it puts me, it gets rid of my Prankster, so I can't Will-O-Wisp the thing or anything. It's Scrappy Prankster Fake Out. It's really cool. But he decides to pull a hard switch into his Thundurus, as I make a switch and go out into Spritzy to take a hit from Mega Lopunny. Now he goes straight for a Thunderbolt, and that does way too much to my Spritzy. I go for a Wish here, and I'm thinking that has got to be a Specs Thundurus, and that is really bad news for me, because that means that thing just eats my team. This thing will literally eat my team here. I can't do anything. I'm going to have to sacrifice something off here. I either sacrifice something or something takes a massive hit. He's already taken my Spritzy down to low, massively low health, and I only have one other thing on the team that can really switch into this thing, and that's my Scarf Victini. So I switch in, take way too much damage. That nearly one-shots a Victini. That's just so powerful. And he switches out and goes into Drodigon. Now I go for the Blue Flare here, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Well, it's not really going to do much at all. I'm going to go for the Blue Flare. It's going to do a decent amount. It does an okay amount, but I get the burn, which is pretty good. But unfortunately here, I'm faced with two options, right? This Drodigon here, Drodigon has access to both Sucker Punch and Pursuit. I did not want to switch out, only for him to go for Pursuit. But he doesn't go for Pursuit, he goes for Stealth Rock, which means that if I do switch out, I'm dead upon arrival again. So I have to stay in here and go for another Blue Flare. And then he reveals that he doesn't have the Sucker Punch either, so he hasn't used Sucker Punch, and he hasn't used, he uses Pursuit here, thinking I'm going to switch out. It does not kill because he's burnt, and I stayed in. So Victini takes out the Drodigon with Scarf Blue Flares and things and stuff, but it's still very frustrating that I've had to pretty much sacrifice my Victini to just break through that Drodigon. Now he goes out into his Mega Lopunny, which is just going to Fake Out me and kill me because there's nothing I can do to stop it. If I switch out, I'm dead upon arrival, and I don't have Defog. So Victini goes down, and so does Drodigon, but I switch into Regirock. It's one of the few things on my team that can actually take a hit from this Mega Lopunny. He goes for a Substitute, which is very scary, and I go for my Stealth Rocks. Now, he's got a substitute up with a Megalopony. This is very freaking scary. I don't know what I was supposed to do here. He goes for the high jump kick. If I'd have gone for a protect there, that would have done things and stuff, but that does way too much freaking damage. This is a Regirock. I reveal the Hammer Arm, and that breaks the substitute of the Megalopony. But that was way too much damage for a Regirock to be taking on the physical side. Obviously I get the speed decrease, and I get leftovers back, but this is just stupid. There's nothing I can do here. I just have to sacrifice off Regirock, hoping he misses a high jump kick, which he doesn't, and Regirock goes down as well. So that's Megalopony killing 2 things already on the team. I go into Spritzy, knowing that I can take anything that this thing wants to throw at me and probably kill it with a Stab Moonblast. So that's exactly what I go for. He goes into Eden the Thunderous, which is going to take Stealth Rock damage. And I realise that I still have Zapdos around. If I can somehow break through this Thunderous, I can spam Stab Thunderbolts for a bit. Now I'll go for a Moonblast, which takes it below half, which means that's one less switch in for it. And he goes straight for a Thunderbolt. And I'm here thinking, ugh, I have to sacrifice off Spritzy here. Spritzy's not living this. And unfortunately she doesn't. Spritzy unfortunately goes down, but she did a valiant job taking the Thunderbolt and getting a Moonblast off. So, Spritzy, you did a great job. Now the only thing left on my team I think that can actually even touch this Thunderous is Mega Sableye. I have to switch and go for a Fake Out, hoping it takes it down to Stealth Rock's range, but it doesn't. So he switches out next turn and goes into Tiny Blue, the Manaphy. And this is the bad part. This is where things get interesting. I go for a Psychic here because that was Sableye's move to hit Megalopony, and he sets up a Tail Go on the next turn. At this point, once again, I have to sacrifice something off. I go for a Toxic here, and yeah, like that's obviously a Poison Manaphy. I was hoping Toxic was there in case it was set up Manaphy, like Calm Mind Manaphy, which it could have stopped. I go out from Gaster, I switch out, and I go into Toxicroak, expecting some kind of Scold to come in. And I was Focus Sashed on this thing, so he goes for a Dazzling Gleam, which I actually live. I lived a +3 Dazzling Gleam. Now I'm left with 2 choices. Either I hope he's running Bulk and go for a Gunk Shot, or I go for a Sucker Punch. I hoped he had some kind of Bulk. He reveals that he doesn't, and he kills my Toxicroak with Ice Beam. So Toxicroak, unfortunately, De Bruyne just being sacrificed off right then and there, and that's quite unfortunate, but I go out to Zapdos, which is Scarfed and can outspeed this Manaphy. And I had a feeling he was not going to want to go into the Thunderous in case I had something like Hidden Power Grass, he's not going to go into the Thunderous in case I had Hidden Power Ice, but I reveal the Hidden Power Grass instead, which kills the Manaphy. And it also shows him that he has a free switch into the Thunderous right here. But he doesn't decide to go into the Thunderous, he goes into the Lopunny, which is going to take a bit of Stealth Rock damage and threaten me out, because I can't kill this with a Hidden Power Grass. I realise that Zapdos at this point is some kind of win condition. And I go out into Gaster thinking, right, I need to just take some kind of move. I need to take a move and just sacrifice it because there's not a lot I can do. He goes for a Fake Out, just trying to get some damage off on Zapdos. And I go for a Fake Out next turn. A little bit of damage straight back on the Lopunny. It stays in and does things. And it goes for another return this turn and just takes out Sableye. I don't think the crit mattered in any way, shape or form, but it's still a bit frustrating. Anyway, I go back out into Zapdos, and this was pretty much the game right here, because I have to scarf myself into Thunderbolt to have any chance of taking this thing out, and if I do that, then I can't touch Thunderous, so it was literally I had to go for Thunderbolt and hope that something happened. Now, the first Thunderbolt goes off, and I get a Paralyze, which is absolutely fantastic, and I go for another one, and I think I get, like, nothing, but he gets paralyzed this turn, and he does not want to risk Power Hack screwing him up. So he goes out into Thunderous, and that will be the game, because obviously he's not going to die from Stealth Rock, because Fake Out did not get it low enough. And it's going to get the Volt Absorb, and it's going to get itself back up some health, and that'll be the game. So Shardy's going to take this 4-0. And I literally had absolutely nothing to do here. This was one of the few games I just looked at the matchup and I thought Shardy's an intelligent battler. He's going to bring all of the things that do the most damage to me, and I'm not going to have any way of stopping it. So I prepped as widely as I could for the threats that he had, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be. So unfortunately we're going to take that loss, and that loss is going to, at the moment, put us down at bottom. We are now last in the PPL. We do not want this in any way, shape or form. It's just not right. We are AS Monferno. We're trying to stay up, and after that massive win against Sam last week, we end up losing to Schady in a quite meek fashion. But all I can say is at least it wasn't a 6-0. At least it was not a 6-0. So yeah, that's going to be the match this week. Next week we are playing Liam and the Liam Unlawful Exile and his West Chan United, and they are one hell of a team. They have an incredible draft and they've been very unlucky this season, so make sure you stick around and join me back next week for that one. So thank you very much, guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.